Alright, hello everyone, it's Team Rocket Dross here with another Pokemon drawing tutorial, and for this video guys, we're gonna be drawing Simipour. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how it ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw it, then let's get started. I'm also gonna put up a reference right now on screen, that way it's easier for you guys to draw, and at the same time you guys can get all your details. Just keep in mind guys that we are gonna start off by doing a sketch, and then from there on you guys are gonna do your final drawing, so remember to do your lines light. Just like my other tutorials guys, we're gonna start off by doing a circle, and once we have that, we're gonna split it in half both ways, and the better that you guys make the circle, the easier it will be to follow the tutorial. And just keep in mind once again that the more center that you get it, like cut in half, the better it will turn out. Now I use a spare piece of paper to measure the length of the circle and half of the circle. Now we're actually going to extend that middle line the length of a circle, and we're going to do a reference line at the bottom, and then we're just basically going to do these other lines going down on the side of the circle. These are just reference lines, and then right here basically from the bottom of the circle to the bottom line, we're going to split it in half. Now we're gonna split each part of the circle in half guys, basically making it into quarters. Now the same thing right here from the bottom of the circle to that bottom line, so just try to make from the middle to the outside, right in the middle, right? So now we're actually gonna do this ear, which I use that reference line just to show you guys basically where it kind of lines up to for the ears. This one actually goes a little bit lower than the one on the right, and just remember to do both ears similar in size. Now for the body, there we go. If you guys notice, it doesn't go all the way to that line. This one goes down here and down there as well, so these basically points. Now for the legs, there we go. Make sure that it lines up on the other side, and just try to do both legs the same thickness guys, so just keep that in mind. Actually that one looked a little bit thinner, so I do extend it a little bit. And now for the feet, there we go. And this was probably one of the hardest things, at least for me to do. I do go back and I change, I believe, the size or the shape of the right foot. Maybe, I don't remember guys. There we go. I always have trouble with the feet, and I do it's this one, because the one on the right side looks a little bit bigger. The toes look bigger than the left, so that's why I go back to that. Now I do that reference line going around there just to show you guys where this part of the hair goes down to. Now for this one as well, just look where it starts guys. It's a little bit to the right of the middle right there of that quarter on the right side of the circle, and just do these shapes right there. Now for the, what would that be, like in the chest area, this like pattern that it has. Now the arm, I actually go over the hair just so I can know that it's gonna line up properly guys on the other side, and the arms are a little bit thinner than the legs. There we go. Now we go up here, and it's kind of gonna connect, but it doesn't. Now for the shape right here in the middle of the face, I actually do the eyes way bigger than they should be guys, so you guys can make them a little bit smaller than I do. And right there I was just pointing out that they should roughly line up in the same level. By looking at it right now, the left eye looks a little bit smaller than the right eye. And under the eyes, we start doing the nose right there, and I do make it too big, so I do go back and I change it. And then I realized that the bottom jaw didn't look right, so I go ahead and just extend the face on mine. Doesn't mean that you guys have to do it on yours, but on mine I decided to do so just to make my drawing look better. Alright, now for the rest of the hair right here, once again just try to make both sides the same thickness. Now for this part of the hair, there we go. And then we're gonna line it up, I believe. No, okay, we do that in just a little bit. We finish it off by doing the top, and now I do this arm right here. Right there I was just pointing out that it should be the same thickness, and this one just lines up properly right there. So There we go. And now for this hand right here, guys, this actually gave me a little bit of trouble. I'm not good with hands or feet, so hopefully you guys don't have too much trouble. But just doing that rectangle shape basically for the hand lets us do the fingers. And then I realized that the hand was too big compared to the other hand and just overall, so I do go back and I change that. Now for these rolls in the hair right there, make sure they line up. So I did go over the ear, and then we could do the inside of the ear right there. Just make sure that the inner ear to the outside of the ear are the same thickness on both ears and on the bottom. There we go. And we're basically done with Simipour, guys. Now it's just a matter of doing the tail, which is around here. And I believe I do the tail way bigger than I should have, but I ended up just leaving it. So right here, you guys could just do the way that you guys want. I kind of made it a little bit confusing right there, but hopefully you guys are able to do it. These are basically like these like circle shapes. It's kind of like a cloud shape. There we go. And it gets a lot thicker as it gets to the point of the tail, so just keep that in mind. And now we can just go back and erase some of these reference lines that we did earlier, just to clean it up a little bit, and that way it's not too confusing. And as well as we could you know, just basically start finishing our sketch and just working on any areas that we don't see that look good, right? There's always something that you could make better. And so for me, I'm just going over just some of these reference lines, getting them out of the way. I recommend looking at the reference to get a better idea of which lines to keep. And then I do go back, guys, and I change the size of this hand. Like I mentioned before, I wasn't happy with it, and I do erase it. And even though I'm erasing it, I can still see the lines that were there from the sketch. So I kind of get a better idea of how, you know, it's supposed to look like. So it just makes it a little bit easier, guys. So now I'm just going over the drawing and just trying to see like if something doesn't look right. For example, right there at the bottom of the chin, I extended a little bit lower. So everybody's sketch is gonna be different, guys. Your drawing is gonna look a lot different than, you know, the next person that draws it. So there's always something that you guys can change in your drawing, then go ahead. For example, right there, that foot, I made it too small now, so I do go back and I kind of do it in between. And in the end, I believe it's the toes that are way bigger. So maybe I should have gone and changed the left foot, but I just wanted to keep it that way. The nose, I do make it a little bit smaller, as you guys see here. One of those things I could have changed was the left eye. It looks a little bit smaller than the right side, but it's fine like that. It's not too much of an issue. So remember that your drawing doesn't have to be the same as mine or the reference, guys. So if your ears are not, you know, don't look good, for example, on the reference, the ears, the left one is a lot bigger than the one on the right. In mine, I made them similar in size. So there's always like things that you guys could change in your drawing just to make it look better. I could have probably gone and done the ear a little bit bigger, but you know what I mean? It's not a big issue, guys. Like anything, you know, it's not huge. So I could tell that my eyes are a lot bigger than they should have had because of how the gap in between the eye and the hair. If you guys notice on the reference, like you could probably fit half of another eye, and on mine, yeah, you really can't. So yeah, on the right eye, it's actually a nice gap. It's more thinner. Now that I'm looking at it, now the right eye is smaller than the left. So I guess I kept going back and forth. But if you guys don't pay too much attention to stuff like that, you really won't notice it. There's always gonna be things that you could change. So that's why I recommend just going over your sketch. Just don't look at the reference, just look at your sketch, guys, and be like, okay, this doesn't look right, this looks weird. And without even looking at the reference, just your sketch, just make any changes. You know, it doesn't have to be the same as the reference or my drawing. As long as yours looks good, then by all means make any changes necessary. So I did end up coloring it. I ended up outlining it in what is it, like a Copics outliner. I waited for that to dry, and then I went over it with an eraser just to erase all the pencil. And then I ended up going in with my Copic and my Prisma Premier color markers in order to lay down like the you know, the basic color to Simipour. I didn't have the same colors as the reference as his actual color, but I used the ones that I had the closest to, and I think in the end it still came out pretty good. And then once I laid down my marker, I went over it with some color pencils just to give it a little bit like more shadow, you know, a little bit more extra details. So in the end, guys, I think I'm pretty happy. I mean, coloring him is really simple. It's basically 3 colors if you really think about it, or actually 4. So it's just his, you know, base color, which being the like the baby blue or the sky blue, the kind of like yellowish skin tone, and then the baby blue, like the lighter blue on the inside of the ears, and then a gray for like under the chin. So you know, there's not too much color with them, so I did, like I mentioned, go over it with my color pencils just to add a little bit more of a shading, and I don't know, I kind of like that effect. So let me know in the comment section below how yours ended up looking like and how it came out. Hopefully you guys were able to draw him and I was able to help you guys out. And yeah, guys, I guess that's gonna be the end of the video. Remember, I do have a tutorial on how to draw Semi-Sage, and what was the other one? I can't remember the name of the other one, guys. So yeah, I do have a tutorial on all of them. I do have the tutorial on the first evolutions of the trio and the final. This was the last one for the final evolutions, so make sure to go check out the other ones in case you guys are interested. And yeah, guys, I guess that's gonna be the end of the video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next one. Team Rocket Draws out.